Yo, 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 what's good, what's good, what's good? We in the building. We in the building today.
Let's get it.
Let's go. My name is Big Jor. I think you guys already know me. And this is...
Lockie Limitless. Welcome.
Keeping it limitless, guys. All right. So I met Lockie this morning. I went for a run at the Rookie Run Club. While we were there, after we were finished running, I'm going to put footages up as well. We just linked up naturally. And then we started talking. We started noticing, hey, we both like productivity hacks. We both like healthy lifestyles. We also, of course, both of us also like drinking, partying and stuff. But we both are in the same phase where we just want to focus on the mental health, focus on building our bodies, and just taking more long term. You know what I mean? How about you?
Yeah.
Talk to them, bro.
That's the whole thing long term. It's about delayed gratification now. So putting in the effort, the discipline, everything that counts and that is hard so that you can grow and have that gratification later on in life. So obviously it's going to require some sacrifices. So getting up early, training when you don't want to train, eating healthy foods that you might not otherwise eat. But at the end of the day, it's going to be benefit to you, your body, your mind, and you're going to have a pretty successful physical and mental well-being.
Nice, bro. And you want to tell him about the challenge you're on right now? He was telling me about a challenge. I would love for him to share with you guys as well.
Yeah. So after about 2 months of traveling Europe, drinking beers, eating pizza, and then getting a muffin top because of that, I decided, all right, it's time to kind of cut the shit and lock in, even though I'm traveling Europe and there is quite a party culture, drinking, even with lunch or whatever it may be. I said, all right, I'm going to do the 75 hard challenge, which entails 2 45-minute workouts a day, a gallon of water, and a strict diet, which I've chosen to, it's like a whole foods diet. So just clean eating, really. And I'm on day 17 today, or is it 18? One of the two. But it's definitely testing me. And I have an injury at the moment that is sort of flaring up, which is why I actually stopped playing football. I tore my groin adductor.
Ooh, tell them about that, because you used to also have a football scholarship, soccer scholarship. And tell them more about that story, how you transitioned to trying to start your own company, the Lockie Fitness. I think that will be super inspirational for our audience to also see.
Yeah, so pretty much from about 15, 16, I decided that I wanted to make a career out of football. Honestly, before that, I dreamed to be a professional footballer, and I focused on the steps to get there, and I chose the route of going to America for university so that I could play and study at the same time, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And to be fair, soccer was my everything. That was my passion, and I gave it everything I could until I finished my career in the States, which was pretty successful. Won a college title in the last year, Division 1, and then I said, instead of moving back home with my parents, which would have been the easy thing to do in New Zealand, I said I'm going to move somewhere I haven't been before, which ended up being Perth, Australia. And so I signed a contract playing semi-professional soccer in Australia, and I was playing for about 4 or 5 months, and a few things happened. There was a few kind of disagreements, obviously being a new player in the team, and then finally the injury that just stopped me from playing. And that's when I kind of felt something was ripped from me, because if you've ever had an injury which has stopped you from playing the sport you love or the thing you've grown up doing, you almost get that empty feeling of what do I do now? And that's when I was like, okay, and I was really struggling for money. I was like, all right, the easiest thing to do is to find out how to make some money. So then I actually went and signed on to working in the mines, which first I was like, I want to make heaps of money, and which I did, but it required long hours, 12 hours a day, working pretty much like a slave, and I was yeah, honestly, before I came to Europe, I did 3.5 weeks straight with 1 day off.
Sorry. What is mines? Can you...
Mine. So
Yeah.
working in a underground in a mine. Well, I was on the surface, but it was still like a mine site where you extract materials like gold. The site I was on was just iron ore, and so I was working there, long hours, pretty much manual labor, and I thought to myself, I had this empty feeling of like, what am I doing? I want to be doing something I'm passionate about. And that's when I came up with the idea of Lockie Limitless, which is about not letting past experience define who you are and limit you, but having other goals and other dreams that you can grow towards. And limitless, in its literal meaning, means no limits. But the way I'm looking at it is removing the limits that stop you from getting to where you want to be, and building the limits that are helping you to grow to where you want to be. So, for example, the limits that you want to build are discipline, and that'll help you to grow, you know, whereas a bad habit or limit would be excuses, fear, or the main one is comfort. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, is just get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And for a lot of people, that is moving to a new country like yourself. It's hard. Like for me, moving to America, that was probably the scariest thing I've ever done. But once I did it, it took a little while to get used to, but you acclimatize, you know, and you know, I'm sure you've got something to say about moving away from your home country.
I actually just had a talk with my mom about this. Every time you move to a new country, you're literally throwing yourself in such an uncomfortable situation in terms of you don't know the language, you don't know the culture. Of course, like if I look back at the person I was before I traveled for the first time, I felt like I was at my peak, but I still had that urge that wasn't being fulfilled. Island life, Curacao, you guys know where I'm from. So when I moved to the Netherlands for the first time, it was such a culture shock. I needed to learn the new language and everything. So actually it took me 3 years to get to the point of feeling like I'm the person I used to be. Because like you get, how can I say this? You get thrown into a situation where you were super confident where you're from, you know people, you have your network, but as soon as that is gone and then you're thrown in a new country, it's like you're a baby again and you need to learn how to walk again. And I notice now, like I've been 3.5 years in the Netherlands, learned a lot and did my thing, but then it was time to move on to the next one, which was Portugal for me now. What I accomplished in 3 years in the Netherlands, I feel like I accomplished this now in 6 months. And that is the feeling of feeling like you're finally home. Of course, I didn't like the Netherlands that much, but just the feeling of, hey, I feel like I'm home, I feel like I belong. I managed to achieve that way quicker in Portugal, and I don't think it's only because of Portugal, but also because I already traveled before. Traveling helps you to get to know yourself from different angles as well. And also like just killing the ego in terms of I know everything, because bro, you never know everything. There's always more to learn. There's always places to go. And I encourage you guys to travel more. But at the same time, for me personally, I feel like traveling, you shouldn't do it without a plan. So make sure maybe you have a job lined up, maybe you have an online income that's coming in, not that you're only doing it pure off your savings. Because if you only do it pure off a saving and just try to stretch it out till the point that, okay, I don't have money, now I have to run back home. To me, honestly, that feels like not like a successful travel goal. You know what I mean? Then you're only like going out there trying to live a lifestyle, trying to prove yourself, but ended up having to go back. But making it sustainable is the thing that brings true growth, I think. Mm-hmm. To find yourself within another culture and another place. Yeah. That's my take on traveling so far. Let's dive into another topic. You're a fit guy. I think I already talked about the fitness. Let's go into diet. Like how has your diet impacted the way you think? Do you eat consciously? What are the tips you can give to people in terms of dieting?
Yeah, so in terms of dieting and the strict diet I'm on at the moment, I've definitely noticed that my mood and the way I think is far more clear than when I'm eating processed foods and things that just aren't nutritionally, beneficial for you. And I think that not eating to the point where you're full is another one. Especially to do with energy, you know, like you actually don't have to eat as much when you're getting the nutrients from less food, whereas if you're eating just so many processed foods, you're gonna have to eat more to get the same amount of nutrients. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, and it's just that mindless eating, even when you're scrolling on your phone or this or that. But when you're consciously like thinking about what you're eating, you're preparing it, you know, you're even scaling it maybe. I'm not scaling, but I'm just have a gauge for it, you know, half an avocado, handful of chicken breast, whatever it may be. But yeah, that's kind of my take. Eat good, feel good, you know?
I like that. For me personally, also, like, I've been focusing on better diet, and what I've noticed is that, like, as soon as I started, like, cooking for myself every day, I'm noticing, like, in terms of not only mental clarity and just how you feel, but also my pockets, bro. I am a foodie. I love McDonald's. I love fast food. I love eating out. I love burgers and stuff, pizzas. And I notice how fast my money goes down when I'm only eating out. Of course, sometimes you're stressed. Eat that pizza once a week maybe, but you got to earn it and have a gauge of what you're putting into your body. I notice now that I'm cooking for myself every day. Like, I remember like 2 days or 3, I think it was a week ago, I got Burger King. I spent like 15 euros on that. After I was done eating it, I think like 3-4 hours later, I just felt like
Hungry again.
Hungry. I felt like drained. I felt sluggish. But if I look at it, bro, if you have 15 euros, if I would have put that towards buying protein, buying chicken breast, or whatever, like,
yeah,
you could have gotten so much more gains and save money and have better, like, mental clarity and feeling better. Of course, it takes more time to cook for yourself, but if you make it a habit, I think that's the most important thing you can do, like, in terms of nutrition. Just make it a habit that you cook for yourself. For me personally, I don't really have like a strategy on how to eat to feel good, but I think deep down, if you ever ask your random Joe, how are you supposed to eat clean, they know how you're supposed to eat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So just make it a habit, I think. Like, for me, if every day you do the same, if you wake up, you do 10 push-ups, and then you read 10 pages of a book, and then you go to work, and then when you're done, you do something. If every day you do that, even on the days where you're feeling less motivated, it'll come in, and you will, even without the motivation, your body will move, and you'll get through it, and you'll keep on getting the gains, keep on getting the financial benefits, the health benefits that come with it. So I would say definitely, like, get better habits. Actually, I'm going to show you guys the book that I'm reading right now. I'm glad I brought it. So this is The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. I felt like I just butchered his name. But anyway, super great book that talks about like habits and how to, like, kill old habits and change it up with new ones, and just human psychology in general as well. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. You want to switch over to another topic, bro?
Yeah, let's do maybe mindset or relationships, maybe.
Relationships?
Relationship.
Let's get into it. All right.
Yeah.
Are you single?
I am single. Yes. And yeah, it's of my own choice, really.
Okay.
I've only had one serious relationship before, and that ended the day I left for America, which was pretty heartbreaking, to be honest. And it didn't really hit me until maybe 2 weeks into my America journey. And I thought to myself, what have I done? Like, should I go back?
Sorry, did you break it up?
It was kind of a mutual, because like the long distance, it wasn't really going to work. You know, you kind of, I guess, need that physical touch in a relationship.
Definitely.
And I didn't know when I was going back. But yeah, after that one, I didn't really feel like I wanted to go through something like that again.
Okay.
So I suppose I was scared of another breakup.
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of one of my uncomforts, I suppose. And in saying that, I've had a few flings and stuff, but nothing too serious.
Yeah.
And I've explained myself every time that, like, I'm not really looking, especially when I was in America, because I wasn't looking to stay there long term. So I didn't want to get everyone's hopes up or my own hopes up. But I'm also at the point now where I don't want to be chasing for something. I want to love myself first before I can love someone else, you know, because if you don't work on yourself first and figure out your values, then someone else is gonna, you know, see something different in you, and that may not be you. Like, honestly, I want to build my garden first, and then the butterflies will come. I want to attract rather than chase.
I like that.
And that's just where I am right now. I'm not really focused on, you know, a relationship, girlfriend, a wife further along the line, you know, which I would like to have a wife and kids one day, but for now it's about me. It might sound selfish, but in the long run it's actually not selfish, because you're putting your best foot forward for someone else to see the true you, and then you can love them and they can love you reciprocally. So yeah,
definitely, bro, that was beautiful, bro. For me, honestly, like for most of my life, I also had only one serious relationship. It's the one, okay, so for the ones that know my animation channel, it's the I almost had a kid animation. I talk about this relationship like more thoroughly there.
Okay.
But basically we only dated for 6 months. But I personally had a bunch of like traumas and like things that I needed to deal with personally, that it was mostly like from both ends we just saw each other as objects, to be honest. We felt good together, but we never really connected emotionally, if that makes sense. So I broke that one off because I felt like I wanted to achieve something more, which is like the content creation. I wanted to travel more. She had a kid as well, so that's I ended the relationship, focused on myself for so long. In between, I also like dated a lot, had a lot of flings as well. But at the same time, I always kind of felt empty in the life of like not having a real connection with somebody and like sleeping with them. So I never really got around to getting into a second relationship because I was always kind of on the move, if that makes sense. Or never really met somebody that's on the same
wavelength. I can relate to that.
Yeah, definitely. For now, I'm at the point now that I'm just trying to make friends, and if out of that friendship I feel like, hey, it can continue going on even more, that's fine. But at first, like as soon as somebody finds me attractive, I'll be like, let's go. Now I'm like, okay, let's talk. How are you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you like? If in those beginning phases I already noticed that there's some things I don't like, then I like it just cancels out. So I just want to be friends first, and from there see where it goes. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you bring up a good point there, actually. It's now more about the mindset that becomes more attractive rather than the physical appearance. And don't get me wrong, physical appearance is still the first thing that attracts you. But then once you actually get to know someone, they can become completely unattractive, which is such a crazy concept, right? Like, you could be the most beautiful woman in the world, and then the moment you speak, or just even your attitude, body language, whatever it may be, that could just be an immediate red flag, turn off, you know. And it's
definitely, bro.
Like, it has to be holistic, you know. You have to be. You can't check all the boxes. Like, no one's perfect, you know. But if you can be humble and not overly arrogant about your physical appearance, I suppose, then you'll become a more attractive person, you know?
Yeah, I definitely relate with that, bro.
Yeah.
For me personally, like, I have that too. Like, I can see somebody, they're beautiful, I can talk to them. But for me, like, the biggest turnoff is like communication. If I feel like I'm putting a time and energy into talking to somebody, and let's say we make agreements or you say something, but when I look at your actions, it's different. For me, bro, that's it kills the complete mood for me, because like then it makes you I don't like people that make me overthink. You know what I mean?
Like, you speak more with your actions than your words.
Definitely.
End of the day, you know, you could be completely bullshitting and then do something That's wonderful.
The truth will always come out. Like, I think, like, for everybody in terms of like dating as well, just be honest, bro. If you're being honest, then even if, let's say, for instance, these Portuguese flies are obsessed with me. I swear, bro.
You wouldn't
It's
last in the
crazy.
mines, bro.
Is it the
Fuck
same there?
thousands, bro. You just get used to like 10 of them on your
my
face.
G.
And like, there's no point swallowing them.
That's
They're back
crazy.
there in a millisecond.
Yeah, I would say like relationship, just be honest, direct, and yeah, bro, just go with the flow. At the end of the day, I feel like everybody's different, and you cannot. How can I say this? You cannot intellectualize something that's has to come naturally out of emotion, out of so many factors that need to line up. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and that brings us on to another topic of energy, I suppose, and emotions. And I've been learning a lot lately about the whole energy and just feeling it, you know, like as soon as you walk into a room, you can feel it, whether it's a restaurant or even a hostel room, you know. There's a different energy to a different environment, you know, and that's what's so good about changing your environment, you know. Like, if it doesn't feel, I don't know, right, then maybe that's not the right environment. But then again, if you're wanting to grow, you do have to put yourself in some uncomfortable environments to grow, and then you can, you know, move on, level up, and then, okay, I just did that, you know, rather than, I don't know, dip a toe and be like, oh, I don't like that, you know what I mean?
Sorry, bro. Honestly, I got lost. Yeah, that last part, a part of me just like tuned out. Sorry, viewers. Can you please repeat that and reword that again?
Yeah, so in terms of like the energy of different rooms, you know, you can feel when something's not right, or
definitely.
when something is right. And I think that, I don't know, a lot of people hang out in the wrong environments, you know, and the energy that is there is draining them.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas you've got to find the energy that lifts you up and helps you to grow. So
I'm gonna quote one of my best friends, Ellen Carolina. Go where you feel good. If you go where you feel good, where you feel like at home, you feel accepted, everything will work out. If you feel like you have to pretend to be something that you're not, just to impress people that you don't even like, just because you want to seem cool, run, homie.
Yeah.
Run, buddy.
Jane.
Run. Yeah.
100%.
Definitely. I like that.
It's a good point. And yeah, coming to that, like, that's the whole thing about, if you do want to grow, you have to change, and that requires sacrifice, which could be your old friend group. You know, if you have ambitions and goals, you got to be willing to say, okay, these people that I'm hanging out with, they aren't on my same wavelength anymore. I want to do this, and this. I need to find people that are on that same path, rather than hanging out with people that, I don't know, they may be just bumming along, doing drugs and drinking. Like, I've been there before, I'm not gonna lie, and it's comfortable. But if you want to grow and change as a person, you need to put yourself in those environments that lift you up rather than keep you down. So
to add on top of that, I think like another thing is like a lot of people like live a life just because everybody put that expectation on it, maybe for your parents, from your friends, friend group, people you grew up with. For me personally, like I didn't do content creation for so long because I was scared about what people would think. But I noticed as soon as I tuned out those noises and just locked in, all of a sudden everything around me started changing. It's kind of like you made a paradigm shift. My friend group got different. I started being more happy. I started losing weight. I started going to the gym more. It's just about making that mental decision of, okay, regardless of what anybody thinks, I'm going to lock into this one thing that I'm passionate about. Because at the end of the day, if you don't follow your dreams and follow the things that make you happy, you will always be miserable. You'll always end up at a point of like, why am I here? But as soon as every day you're waking up and you know that you're doing what you love, even if you're working a 9 to 5, you don't have enough time. I was telling my mom this today. I was like, Mom, she was telling me I should journal and write books. I was like, hey, Mom, actually, I think like leaving a book behind will be a nice way to like stay connected with my kids. Not that I'm saying she should die, but more of if she wrote a book telling her experiences about how she grew up.
A piece of her left behind, yeah.
That would be amazing. First thing she told me, yeah, but I don't have time right now. I got to do this and this and that. I was like, Mom, you can make 10 minutes in a day to do that. You can make 10 minutes a day to do what you love, whether it's dancing, whether it's rapping, doing poetry, painting, whatever it is, starting a stockbroker business, I don't know. You can make 10 minutes a day to research or either just implement something.
Yeah.
And as soon as that becomes a habit, then you start falling in love with it.
Yeah.
To the point that you start canceling other things. Like for me, bro, I used to smoke weed like Bob Marley, bro, on a daily. Yeah. Corona, I was Bob Marley.
Yeah.
But it got to the point that I was like, okay, I'm smoking so much, but I'm not happy anymore. That's literally when I hit rock bottom, because I noticed like even drugs, even nothing was making me happy anymore.
That's a good point, and that brings it back to dreams in general. Like, I thought soccer was my dream, that was everything, and then when injury struck, I just saw it as a sign, because I wasn't even really enjoying where I had put myself anymore, even though I was playing semi-professional football. But you don't have to limit yourself to one dream. You can have multiple, and you just have to be in love with what you're doing. You have to be passionate, and that will be the underlying driver for your success at the end of the day. You got to be able to change and be willing to commit to something new. And it might feel like starting over, but that's how we evolve.
Hey, and life will always be like evolving. One day you're gonna have kids. One day you're gonna have another job. One day you're gonna have this. One day some family member might pass away. One day, maybe your best friend is not gonna be your best friend anymore. Maybe tragedy happens. You break your leg. Anything. Exactly. I think as your brand screams, be comfortable with the uncomfortability. I think the most important thing is having that strong mindset. Having a strong mindset, being able to adapt, is the most important skill not even a man, just a human being can have, because then you get to become flexible and move through life without thinking that everything's supposed to be set in stone. I think for me personally, I struggle with that as well. I always think like, okay, this should be this is how life's supposed to be. No.
Yeah.
We're here for a journey. We're here to grow. We're here to experience pain, to experience love, and all the highs and lows in between. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's gonna get you through it is not gonna be your parents. It's not gonna be your friends. It's gonna be you. Yeah. You get me? Exactly. Yeah, man.
You gotta put yourself in those positions of uncomfortability sometimes, because if you stay comfortable, and then when something uncomfortable does happen, it's like, oh shit, like what do I do now? Whereas if you're willing to put yourself in that uncomfortable position already, then you can face it head on, rather than when it does come, you've got your back face, you're running away. You want to face it head on, run towards it,
Yeah, bro, I like that. Run towards your fears. Yeah. That thing that you've been putting off for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, I want you to wake up tomorrow morning and do it. I think like that's something also like I've learned in terms of habits. As soon as you wake up, do the hardest thing that you've been putting off.
100%, bro.
As soon as you get that, you get this sense of internal dopamine, and real dopamine, not the scrolling dopamine, not the lotion and napkin dopamine. If you get what I mean. But just locking in, man. Just locking in.
100%.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
That's a good point, and it comes down to the whole habit thing, and the power of now. Like, if you keep doing uncomfortable things, they will become comfortable because you've done it before. You become used to doing that thing, and that comfort, you're trading it for confidence. So then when you do face these uncomfortable situations, you've got the skill, you've got the tools to actually go and face it head on.
Bro, I felt like a lot of gems was dropped. There's nothing more I would like to explore. Is there anything you would like to explore still, or you want to go into something else?
I think, let me have a quick look. Yeah, I think that's time's up anyway. But I think we've had a good chat.
Hey, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you.
It's a super pleasure having a
been a
conversation
pleasure.
with you, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely,
you guys.
hey,
Listen.
definitely, I would like Lockie to come back to Portugal. Maybe we'll meet in the future. Maybe we do a vlog or something. But for now, we're just gonna go to a techno party, if I'm not mistaken.
Sober.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna get you drunk. I'm joking. The 75 hard challenge, I respect that. Me too. Like, I want to lay off the alcohol. So we're just gonna go see the vibes. We're gonna take some shots. Maybe there's gonna be a vlog about it later. But yeah, man. Hey, I wish you guys the best. Blessings, love, positivity. Focus on your dreams. Focus on yourself. Focus on God, and just stay positive. All right. Later.